It's Saturday, June the 23rd, 6:30 a.m. and I've just put £2 in the meter here at the railway station at Flint, which covers me for the full day, which is fantastic. The good thing about this stretch now is I'm going to have very few problems, hopefully, in getting from A to B and back from B to A and then walking from A to B again. What I've done this morning is drive up from Connors Quay, where I stayed on a pub car park last night, and I'm going to get a train back to Connors Quay and walk back to Flint, and then on from there, leaving the van here. So I don't know quite how far I'm going to get, depends on several things really, but certainly Prestatyn, which is 23 miles away, is probably out of the question. The forecast for today is hot sunshine, so I don't think I'm going to be taking on too much, but it's a big relief to get out of the situation that I was in yesterday, where it took me 2 hours to get back to West Kirby, where I left the van at First Aston, just near the campsite which I stayed at, and by the time I got back I was tired and went straight to bed. I managed to stay on a pub car park. The landlady was quite happy for me to stay there. I was hoping to have gone and had a beer or two, but it was karaoke, which I don't particularly like, and I was very tired. I was tucked up in bed by about 8 o'clock, and I slept all the way through till this morning, even though it was a little bit noisy on the car park when the pub closed at 11 o'clock, and it was parked close to a road where it was a bit noisy, but it served its purpose. So I'm looking forward to today. I'm in Wales now. Two minor things really about being in Wales. One is that I can't use my bus pass, but I can use my pensioners discount card on the rail service. And the other problem is tomorrow England play in the World Cup. I don't know whether they're going to watch it on Welsh televisions. I would imagine I'll find somewhere, and I'd like to see that football match tomorrow afternoon. And if the weather stays like this, I'll be walking instead of having a day off. I've actually made good progress through the Wirral. I was quite surprised that it only took me 2 days to get through, which is very good, but yesterday was a hard day. I did about 15 miles and I was getting tired towards the end. So here we go. I've got off to a good early start this morning, walking along Connors Quay High Street, for the want of a better word, and it looks completely and utterly deserted. It could be Sunday morning at 6:30 or something. There's just nobody around at all, very few cars. It's going to be a nice day. It's a little bit nip in the air at the moment, but I've only got to walk from here to Flint, which is about 5 miles, and then I'm back at the van, and then I can plan from there, see how I feel, and I'm looking forward to a good day today. just come back to the van. It's 9:10, so it's 11,000 steps from here to Connors Quay, which makes it around about 5.5, 6 miles, so that's not too bad. I got to Shotton at 7:30, so I'm quite happy with that. The sun was shining this morning first thing, but it's cooled off a little bit now. It's clouded over slightly, but I'm feeling good. It's a nice way to spend a Saturday morning, having a 5 or 6 mile walk anyway. I used to do that all the time. So I'm just going to have a cup of tea in the van. One or two things that I forgot to take with me, like I always do, like a spare battery and a spare memory card and some of my gym's walk cards, which there was a guy in a garage who was very interested in it, but I didn't have any cards. So I'm just going to have a 10-minute breather here, and then I'm going to work out where I'm going to next. My intention is to leave the van here, walk up the coast, and it's going to be so easy to just get the train back to here, and the van is 50 metres from the entrance to the station, so that's much more like it. I'm going to get over all of these difficulties that I've been having with buses and trains. It's going to be so easy. Right, here I am at Prestatyn, and on a very nice campsite. And this is Chris, who I've met. You've just done quite a walk, Chris. Tell us about that.
I started in Cardiff about 2 weeks ago and followed the Offa's Dyke path and arrived in Prestatyn yesterday.
And how many miles is that?
It's about 220, 230.
Wow, and that took you how many days?
13 days of walking.
13 days?
Yeah.
That's a good walk then. So have you got, well, that's great. So obviously you've got your backpack. How much would that weigh?
I think it's about 8 to 10 kilos, I don't know exactly.
Right.
And it depends how much food I'm carrying as well.
Absolutely. So that takes you along a sort of a hilly walk over Brecon Beacons that way?
It doesn't quite go over the beacons, but it goes over some other hills. There's the Hatterall Ridge, Hergest Ridge. So some really nice airy bits of walking up in the Clwydians as well.
Yes.
Really beautiful walking.
Excellent. What other walks have you done in the past?
This walk was just to finish a walk around the whole of Wales. So I've done the Welsh Coastal Walk, and I was just joining up the bit from Chepstow to Prestatyn.
Right.
I've done the Speyside Way, Kintyre Way, and that's about it for long distance walks, really.
Really? Oh well, that's pretty good going. And what about people? People tell me, I've met loads of people on this coastal walk.
Yeah.
A lot of Americans and Australians who particularly like the Pembroke coast. I mean,
yeah, they do.
Is that to be recommended?
The Pembrokeshire coast is definitely to be recommended, especially I would say after St David's going south.
Yes.
It's absolutely stunning.
Yes.
Sort of different rock formations all the time, and it's almost like walking in the mountains. It's so rocky.
Yes.
But it's also very, very hilly.
Yes.
I think the Pembrokeshire Walk is the equivalent of climbing Mount Everest from sea level on its own. Yeah. So there were some pretty nasty hills.
Wow. It's funny, I've got one of these Fitbit things. It's just it did actually get me fit, and they keep sending me messages said,
stop walking now. You're doing too much.
So you've just walked like the entire length of Italy, or you've just walked so many steps that you could have been at the top of Everest.
Yeah.
And it's an ongoing thing where they're recording it. The good thing about it, I don't have to record anything. It just goes straight into my phone, and I've got all the details.
Yeah.
And it is a really good marker as to how you're doing.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's been a pleasure meeting you, Chris.
Yeah, you too. Good luck.
What's your next plan? Have you got anything else in mind?
I'd quite like to walk the Southern Upland Way.
Where's that?
Which is the borders of Scotland, starts in Portpatrick, ends on the east coast in Coburn's Path, and is a very quite a wild walk.
Yes.
Not many facilities, so different, bit different from Wales.
Yes, I should imagine. Well, very nice meeting you, mate, and congratulations and well done. Where's your home? Where are you going back to?
Going back to Yorkshire today.
Yorkshire?
Yes.
Whereabouts?
York.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Wow, well, that's not so far away from Hull then. It's only 40 miles.
No, it's not far at all.
Yeah. Okay. Nice one, mate.
Cheers.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Good
luck to you as well. Bye now. Bye. Good morning. It's Sunday the 24th of June and I'm in Prestatyn, and I'm just left the campsite having spoken to Chris, a very nice guy, and I'm heading for the beach, and then I'm going to be turning left, in other words walking to the west, and I don't know where I'm going to end up. I'm just going to walk and end up possibly at somewhere like Abergele. I can't really see it being much further than that, because at 1 o'clock England kick off in the football match in the World Cup. Can't remember who they're playing, but I'll be wanting to watch that, but I won't be drinking beer if I'm going to carry on walking. The campsite last night was great. The only problem is they didn't have hookup, and so I've booked tonight to have hookup, because I'm still having one or two problems with the battery in terms of the amount of charge, simply because I'm not really doing much mileage in the van to put any juice back in, and so it's going to be a constant problem. It's left outside all day now in the hot sunshine, so the solar panel should do its job, but you need to be sure. it was 9:20 and my stomach is telling me it's time for some breakfast, so I'm going to leave the prom and walk into the centre, and then I'm going to come back when I've been suitably refreshed. Well, I feel much better for the breakfast. It's 10:15 now, and I'm going to keep walking, remembering that football starts at 1 o'clock, so I can probably put in another couple of hours. That should get me another 5 or 6 miles maybe, or slightly more. It's absolutely glorious morning. There's not a breath of wind, there's not a cloud in the sky, there's not many people around yet because it's so early. But it looks as if it's going to be a busy day.
Playing out from the fact they brought other players into the game.
Yeah, I think this is a key thing in this New England team, the way that that's happening. Well, forget the grappling. He's got 3.
Yes, it is.
Good morning. It's Tuesday the 26th of June and I'm just walking from the campsite in Llandudno to the bus stop, which is only probably 400 yards, something like that. And I'm catching a bus from Llandudno to Abergele to carry on from where I left off on Sunday. And I had a day off yesterday. Well, I drove from Prestatyn to Llandudno and it was only probably about an hour's drive, if that, and trying to find the campsite. The campsite is very nice people. Really good. Bit of a rest yesterday, didn't do me any harm. Did quite a lot of editing. Got myself up to date and I've got a really good internet signal, which is going to be makes a massive difference for the speed in which I send off all these videos and stuff off to YouTube. The other day it took 3 hours because the signal was so bad, and so I'm pleased that I've got a good signal and I can carry on when I get back today. The weather forecast is for 27 degrees today, so I've put my favourite orange shirt on again, which is nice and cool. Plenty of sun cream, and I'm really looking forward to this as a challenge, and it's going to be very scenic. We're going to have something to look at today. So I've reached the main road. The bus should be here soon, I hope. Seen the bus stop, and I'm on my way. Well, I'm back again in Abergele, and I've just walked, having been dropped off in the town centre by the bus. Just had a nice big breakfast to get me set up for the day, and I've just walked to the yacht pub, where you may remember I watched England thrashing Panama 6-1 on Sunday afternoon. It's an absolutely glorious day. Making a bit of a late start today. It's about 10 o'clock and there's no rush. I got loads of editing done this morning and working out all kinds of figures and planning my walk around the Isle of Anglesey, which, according to a guy I was talking to yesterday, said it would take about 12 days to do that. So I need to do some calculations. I've worked out now that I've actually walked 817 miles since I left Grimsby, so I'm quite pleased with that as a result, and I'm looking forward to getting back again into Llandudno. It looks like there's some fabulous things to see there. The campsite was good. It's very central, which is a useful thing, and good price. I was on hookup, so that's exactly what I need, and everything is going really, really well. And here I am now, back at the beach. Right, well, I've reached Colwyn Bay and walking along the seafront, and I bumped into this guy Peter, who's from Liverpool. So what are you doing here then, Peter?
Well, I've just come down for the day to see a friend, but he doesn't finish work till a bit later on. So I've come down a bit early because of the lovely weather we've got. I like walking along this seafront, especially when the weather's nice. People seem happier, they seem to be having a good time. And it's just fun walking and talking to people, watching people fish down here.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, they're very friendly people in this part of the world as well, aren't they?
Well, they are very friendly, but as I've said, when the sun comes out,
most changes personality.
Most people seem to be friendly. Most people do, and it's just a joy. It's just a joy to be alive.
Yeah.
To walk around, it's just great.
Yeah. I mean, this weather. I mean, you've obviously had the same weather in Liverpool as down the rest of the west coast. It's been unbelievable.
Yeah, the weather's amazing, and you've got to make the most of it.
Yeah.
Because in a few 4 or 5 months, whatever, we're going to have the winter back. We're going to have the dark nights, dark mornings. Everybody's going to be miserable. It's going to be raining, maybe snowing. So when the sun's out, come out, enjoy it, talk to people, mix. It'll do you the world of good. It's just amazing. I love it. Yeah, I love it.
Well, that's a good attitude, and that's the attitude I have actually. And I've met some fantastic people, like from all over the world, you know, who you can tell people who want to talk to you. You can tell people who are friendly, and you just get into a small conversation, and they tell you their life story, which is really nice.
But just to meet different people from Wales or England or all over the world. It's just great to have conversations with them and get their point of view and see what they're talking about. It just builds you up. You just feel great.
Yeah.
We all should talk.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great therapy.
Yeah.
We should all do it. I love it. I love talking.
I couldn't agree with you more, Peter. It's been a great pleasure meeting you, mate.
Thank you.
Right, I've made it to Colwyn Bay. Well, nearly. I've done 15,000 steps, so I've done about 7.5 miles up to now. I've still got about the same distance to go. I can see Llandudno quite clearly from here. I can't actually see the campsite, but I know where it is, and it's only probably about a mile inland from the bay. So I'm doing okay, I'm doing fine. It's getting very hot. The weather forecast was for 27 today, and I reckon it's not far off that now. Yeah. But I'm feeling good. I'm drinking plenty. I'm just having another cup of tea. I think tea hits the spot more than water, and it gives me a chance to just have a sit down for 10 minutes. The only problem with that is I've got a slight rheumatic pain in my left thigh, and it takes me a couple of 100 yards to start walking properly again, and I don't know why that's happening. In fact, I find that in bed I can't sleep on my left side because it's painful. I don't think it's serious, and as I say, all this walking obviously has something to do with it, but I'm not worried. I'm really enjoying this today. I've been looking forward to getting onto this easy to walk Welsh Riviera, and the buses are brilliant. They're all bang on time. Pity I can't use my bus pass because I'm spending quite a lot of money on buses, but that's the way it is, and the system's working perfectly, the A to B, B to A to B stuff, and I shall be using this right the way through onto Anglesey, where apparently there is a circular bus. So that's going to make life much easier for me. Obviously walking around the coast, which I'm told is 120 miles, and the average walking time is 12 days. I think I can do better than that, but we'll see how it goes. If the weather stays like this, it'll be a great idea to get it out of the way. And with all respect to school children, before the school kids come out at the end of July, it's going to change this whole situation. Everywhere's going to be heaving, and getting campsites and public transport and places to park is going to be a nightmare. I know it. But everything's going well at the moment. I'm very happy, and it's great. Loving it.